All right. Hello and welcome, everyone. We are so excited to have you here for another Winter Career Quest session. Thank you for joining us session today from Campus to World, Peace Corps, and Your Career. My name is Hank. I am an Employee Engagement Manager on the Career and Professional Development team here at WGU. As mentioned earlier, a copy of this session will be going out via email along with a brief feedback survey. We really value your feedback. This helps us continually bring meaningful sessions that help support your career journey and development. Be sure to check out any upcoming Career Quest sessions via our Career and Professional Development webpage, and then feel free to check out any past sessions on our YouTube channel that you will receive a link for with that email coming to you tomorrow. So today we have Claudel Daniels, United States Navy veteran, also Peace Corps recruiter, joining us today for an informative session about the Peace Corps and how you can jumpstart your career. With that being said, I will go ahead and pass the mic to Claudel.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hankerson, and thank you for having me back. It's another opportunity to talk about an amazing program and especially share this with your Western Governor University students. So without further ado, I'm going to share my screen and talk to you about this amazing program that I have to offer with the Peace Corps.
Yeah, we're good.
All right. So welcome to this day. So like you said, my name is Claudel Daniels, and I'm a local Peace Corps recruiter here in Central Florida, but I also cover Maine, Vermont, and the Massachusetts area, the Northeast. So I'm around all the time. I'll be available after this meeting to answer some additional questions. But today I want to talk to you about service. Myself, I've spent over 35 years of service. I spent 30 years in the Navy, the best Navy in the world. In addition to that, I worked 3 years with the Department of Veteran Affairs, working with the National Cemetery Administration, conducting funeral services for our veterans and their family members. And then now currently I work as a Peace Corps recruiter, and I've been in this role now for almost 3 years. So today I'm going to talk to you about an amazing program, which is Peace Corps. Peace Corps has been around since 1961, and it was founded on its core values that we wanted to make sure that people had an appreciation for who we are as Americans, and then for us as Americans to have appreciation for other cultures. And the way we do this is by the same mission statement. We partner with people of interest in countries in meeting their need for trained individuals. We promote a better understanding of Americans on the part of the people served, and we promote a better understanding of other peoples on the part of Americans. That's our mission statement. It's been our mission statement from the beginning, and it's a way for us to be able to understand what it's like to live in other cultures and other cultures to appreciate who we are as Americans. Why choose Peace Corps as one of your journeys, right? Besides the benefits, to embrace opportunity that's hands-on, collaborative, grassroots-driven, fully integrate within a new culture, within a community, build lasting relationships, adapt and learn and grow in many different ways. There are many different reasons for service, but the one that stands out to me and the one that's more true to heart is the cultural immersion and learning the different languages and learning how other people live outside of our country. And it humbles me to be able to talk and share that information with you today. So currently we have 2 Peace Corps programs. The minimum requirement to serve in Peace Corps is you have to be at a minimum age of 18. The oldest person we ever had served in the field is 87. So you're never too old to serve. We have 2 amazing programs, and I'm gonna talk a little bit more about the qualifications later. You do have to be a U.S. citizen for this program because even though it's a volunteer program, it's a paid volunteer program. We have 2 amazing programs that you can serve in currently. We have our standard 1 year or 2 year Peace Corps volunteer opportunities. And then we have Peace Corps Response, which is for more seasoned professionals. And that's also a shorter duration, 3 months, 9 months to 1 year. So we have 2 amazing programs. And also we have our virtual service pilot program that you'll see on our website at peacecorps.gov that allows you to volunteer 5 to 15 hours a week from the comfort of your own home, tutoring individuals in our amazing 6 sectors. So we're located around the world. We're worldwide. This is an opportunity to serve abroad. We pay for everything. You pick the country. We're in the Caribbean, Central America, South America, numerous countries in Africa, Western Europe, Asia, and the Pacific Islands. I'll let you see these, a list of all our current countries. Right now on our website, we list our openings on a monthly basis. So every month you'll be able to go in there and find one of these new countries and opportunities available for you. We train you on everything. You pick the country. We have 6 sectors you can volunteer to work in. The only one that requires you to have a bachelor's degree is our education sector, where you'll be teaching English, math, or science in a middle school or a high school setting. In addition to that, we have agriculture, where you'll be teaching local farmers how to develop sustainable food sources. We have youth in development, where you're more like a mentor or coach to young individuals, and you use leadership programs and sports programs to connect with them. We have our environmental sector, where you'll be working with climate change, planting trees, dealing with recycling. We have our health sector, that have you working in our WASH program and teaching young individuals about safe sex practices and proper hygiene. And then we have our community economic development sector, where you're going to be teaching young aspiring entrepreneurs how to start their business, or helping helping mom and pop stores expand their business in a foreign country. So we have 6 amazing programs. Like I said, education is the only one that requires you to have a bachelor's degree. The other 5 programs can have a substitution of different things, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. Moving on, let's talk about the benefits doing service. You think about, wow, I'm going to be volunteering. Most people just think I'm just going to be volunteering. That's all I'm going to be doing. Well, when you first arrive in the country, remember, we pay for everything. You pick the country, you pick the sector that you're going to work in. Once you arrive in country, your first 3 to 4 months, which is 13 to 12 or 13 weeks, all you're going to be focusing on is the language training. All of our volunteers learn how to speak at least 1 or 2 languages when they're in country. So that's an amazing tool set that you're going to be able to add to your toolbox once you get back. So you're going to learn how to speak an additional language. You're going to get trained on the sector that you're going to be working in, because at that point, you're going to be either facilitating or co-facilitating. You're going to be living with a host family, so you get fully immersed within the community. They're also going to help you with your language training. You're going to have an option if you want to, based off of the country you're going to. So it's really important you visit our website to live by yourself in Peace Corps approved housing. All housing is approved by Peace Corps. So make sure you, so I wanted to make sure I expressed that so that you understood that. You're going to get a monthly living stipend to live comfortably within the country. Medical and dental is going to be provided. You get 2 vacation days each month. So all this is going to happen during your service. In addition to all the stuff that I just recently talked about and your complete immersion within the community, you're also going to have medical personnel available 24/7. You're going to have security teams available for you, locally hired Peace Corps staff that tells you what areas you should go to and what areas you should stay out of. Remember, our volunteers' safety is paramount. You're going to have community immersion training. Like I said, we train you on all 6 sectors. We train you on how to analyze your community and see what the needs are of your community so that you can best support them. We have a dedicated victim advocacy on hand, a counselor that's going to help you with adjusting to make sure that everything you need to have taken care of in country is going to help you, and you're going to have the support you need while you're in country. Now let's talk about these amazing benefits we have on the way back, right? A lot of times you're thinking, okay, well, I'm in service, I'm doing volunteers. Like, I want to just remind everybody, this is not affiliated with the military. The Peace Corps is not the United States Navy or any other branch of service when it comes to volunteer service. This is a unique experience where, like I said, we pay for everything, and you're going to get a monthly stipend while you're in country. Now, when you return from probably doing one of the most challenging things you've ever done in your life, the benefits are you're going to receive the Paul D. Coverdell Scholarship. That's a lifelong benefit. And there are currently 120 universities participating in this program, and they're going to offer you money towards your master's degree, and they also have some PhD programs on there. You can find all this information at our peacecorps.gov website. You're also going to receive a completion bonus, or either $10,000 or $20,000, depending on which country you serve in. You're going to develop professional skills. In addition to that, you're going to receive a non-competitive exemption. That's a federal exempt advantage that you're going to have that you'll be able to use to apply for government positions when you return. You're going to get student loan assistance. You're going to have career resources and support. And then the biggest thing is networking. There are over 250,000 returned Peace Corps volunteers worldwide here to assist you with all your endeavors and become your extended family members once you return. The application process is pretty extensive, but it's not that difficult. Once you connect with your local recruiter, it shouldn't take you anywhere between 45 to 60 minutes to complete the complete application. You can only submit one volunteer application at a time. If you're interested in Peace Corps response and you're a seasoned professional and you want to submit multiple applications, you can submit 2 Peace Corps response applications, but you can only submit 1 volunteer application. And that's because on the volunteer side, you'll know within 2 months if you're really competitive for the program. You're allowed to, like I said, submit 1. The application process takes about 8 months long, And like I said, you want to connect with a local recruiter to help you with that process to make sure that you're competitive enough. A local recruiter will review your resume, make sure that it's a competitive resume. They'll review your motivation statement, which is a 500-word essay that you have to write about why you want to serve in Peace Corps and how you're going to use the life experiences to overcome some of the challenges that come with service. So the application process, like I said, it's about 8 months long. You're going to go to our website at peacecorps.gov. Every month we'll list new openings. All of our openings are going to be on there every month. So you browse our opportunities. Once you apply, you're going to be able to set up your account. You're going to complete your health history form. And then after you do all that stuff, if you're competitive enough, you're going to get extended an invitation to interview. And once you blow the interview out of the water, you're going to get an invitation to serve in that country. Now, between the 3rd to the 8th month window, you got to get your clearance, your onboarding, and then you're going to depart for country. Remember, we pay for everything. What makes a competitive applicant? I know I kind of covered everything pretty fast, but I wanted to get to questions. That way everybody can ask all the additional questions they may have. Now, to be a competitive applicant, like I said, the only minimum requirements to serve in Peace Corps is that you're 18 years of age, you're a U.S. citizen, and then we highly encourage you to have a bachelor's degree. Now, you can have a combination of both, right? If you have your bachelor's degree, you qualify for all of our programs. If you don't have a bachelor's degree and you have an associate's degree, you can use your associate's degree and 3 years of professional experience. If you don't have neither, you can use 5 years of professional experience. So you either have a college degree or 5 years of professional experience. You're going to need a professional resume, standard resume going back to as far as high school, talking about your community service, any types of organizations you belong to, any type of tutoring you did, volunteer experience, everything has to be in there. And then you want to apply at the earliest date. Like I said, all of our opportunities come out monthly. So once you browse the opportunities and you see what you're interested in, and you look at all our different added benefits and everything, click to collect with a recruiter, and then a recruiter will be able to assist you. We also have a live chat that we offer every day at 1 o'clock Eastern time. So when you go to our peacecorps.gov website, you'll be able to go to that peacecorps.gov website, and at the top it's going to say our chat is live. I'm on that chat. Other recruiters are on that chat. So every day live at 1 o'clock Eastern time, we answer live questions about what it's like to serve in Peace Corps, and also how can you be competitive and make sure that your application is competitive as possible. Now, I know I kind of covered a lot in a short amount of time. Like I said, just a brief overview of what we've done. We talked about Peace Corps. We talked about how you're going to be able to volunteer to serve in a community of your choice. We're in over 60 different countries. So you pick the country, you pick the sector. We have 6 different sectors that you can volunteer to work in. We train you on all 6 sectors. They're going to be benefits doing service. You're going to get language training. You're going to get cultural immersion. You're going to get leadership training. You're going to get specific job training. You're going to get 2 vacation days each month. You're going to get a monthly spending allowance that you're going to have in country. You're also going to get free medical and dental. It's going to be covered, and you're going to get 2 vacation days each month. And I talked about what the benefits are when you return. The Coverdell Fellowship Scholarship, which is a lifelong benefit, the $10,000 or $20,000 bonus, and then the non-competitive exemption, to name a few. So with that being said, Anthony, I'll open up the floor for questions, and we'll move on from there.
All right. Well, thank you for covering that amazing information about the Peace Corps. I know with a lot of students that are interested in gaining experience, either that being internship or just resume experience, definitely is a benefit for them. So we'll open up the floor for a Q&A. So if you do have any questions, we have Claudel here to ask any questions directly, find out a little bit more, or just ask him any question in general in regards to having a resume or getting started in the process. Well, what I'll kick it off with us while we're waiting for some questions to generate in the chat. Now, I know with being in school, there's people going to school, there's different opportunities and different majors. Who do you see most as far as like majors coming in or people with degrees applying for the Peace Corps?
Well, initially, you always see individuals that think they got to have a specialized experience. So they either already in the education sector, the health sector, agriculture, community economic development, environmental sector, or they dealing with some youth and development type training. But for the most part, everybody that I've seen, as long as you have a college degree or you have professional work experience, everybody qualifies. So I get across the board. Like I said, initially, those individuals that think they have to specialize to be competitive, But once they find out that it's open for everyone, then I get everybody that comes in that's interested. It's a very popular program. That's why it's as competitive as it is. And we typically take either 10, 15, or 20 volunteers for each sector. So I always get to ask the question, well, how competitive is it, and how do you make your selections and things like that? I would just tell you, you just need to have a professional resume. The cheat code is connecting with your local recruiter to making sure they can help you with your resume. Just a standard resume, help you with your motivation statement, and then help you with your interview prep. Because those are the hardest stages of becoming competitive when it comes to signing up for Peace Corps. But across the board, to answer your question, Anthony, we have a lot of different educational background experiences that come in. The person that's looking for Peace Corps is the individual that loves service. Like I said, I've been in the service community for over 35 years. So those individuals that love service and whatever that facet is, they're going to fall in love with Peace Corps, not just because of the immediate gratification of living in the culture, because of the shared experience. Just as much as you go in there to learn about them and their culture and their way of life, they want to learn about who you are, your upbringing, your goals and aspirations. So that shared experience is what makes Peace Corps an amazing organization to be a part of.
Now, what is the process, the timeline for someone saying, hey, I want to apply for the Peace Corps, to them being getting their first assignment?
Okay, so I would say on our website, when you look on our peacecorps.gov website, we clearly we list all of the dates, key dates that are very important to you. We list the application date, meaning that the date you need to apply by. We list your know-by date, meaning that within 2 months after you're applying, you should know if you're competitive or not for the position. And then we have a date of service that you're going to enter service, and that's going to be typically 9 months from your application date. So everything we have listed on the website right now, it's going to say apply by March 15th, apply by April 1st, and they'll be departing later in 2026. If you're trying to leave in 2027, then you want to start looking at the openings and the opportunities in the summertime or later in the fall this year. So planning wise, you probably want to start looking around your senior year, preferably a year before graduation, so that you can go through the application process. But like I said, there's 3 different ways you can qualify. You either got to have your bachelor's degree, an associate's degree with 3 years of professional work experience, or 5 years professional work experience. If you meet any of those requirements, you can apply anytime and you're going to be just as competitive. Like I said, the one cheat code is to make sure that you're connecting with your local recruiter to help you get all the information you need to have a successful application.
All right. So we do have a question here in the chat. How often are opportunities updated?
Every month. We used to be on a quarterly basis. So if you visited our website in the past, you would have saw it say like apply by January 1st, apply by April 1st, apply by July 1st. Now, to make it more accessible, we have more opportunities on a monthly basis. So every month now, we load up new opportunities. So February 1st, you're going to see some opportunities. Currently, right now, I think we have 12 opportunities on there for Peace Corps volunteer and 30 plus on there for Peace Corps response. And then you also have the virtual service pilot program.
Thank you for that question. Now, I also dropped into the chat if you want to check out the Peace Corps website. So I dropped that link in there, but I'll also include that and Claudell's information in the follow-up email that you will receive. So we do have a question. If I have a disability, can I still join the Peace Corps?
And that's a great question. If I have a disability, can I serve in the Peace Corps? Because of HIPAA regulations, we can't really discuss individually what's qualifying and what's disqualifying. But know that it's up to the country that you're serving in to be able to support your medical and dental needs. So what happens is preliminarily, you can always contact our medical team when you go to our website at peacecorps.gov. You're going to see on the openings on the right-hand side, there's an opportunity for you to connect with our medical team, either via email or by telephone. And you can ask them any questions medical related or about vaccines when it comes to being in the country. But while you're in country, like I said, medical and dental is provided for. But it's up to the country to be able to support whatever your medical and dental needs are. So your first time of trying to figure out whether you qualify or not is when you complete your health history form after you complete your application. So once you complete your application, within 24 hours of completing your application, you're going to get your health history form. It's a basic just yes and no questions about your history background. That information is sent out to the countries that you can serve in. And then they're going to, 3 things are going to happen. He's going to come back and say, hey, you're good to go to serve in that country, or you're not good to go to serve in that country, but here's a recommendation. You can serve in this country because this country can support whatever your medical needs are, or you can withdraw your application and find a country based off of the list of countries that you're approved to. You can apply to one of those countries. You can have an opportunity to appeal any medical condition as long as you have documentation. Now, after you become an invitee and you're going through the rest of the application process, you got to get your medical and dental clearance. That's going to require you to submit all your documentation. So you're going to have two opportunities to discuss your medical needs, and you're going to get approval based off of the documents that you submit. But that's all that's going to happen during the application process when it comes to medical.
Thanks for covering that. That's definitely an important question. And thanks for asking. Now, next question we have, in what ways does the Peace Corps service shape professional skills? And how do volunteers typically communicate that value to employers?
Can you say that again? I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. In what ways does the Peace Corps service shape professional skills? And how do volunteers typically communicate the value with employers?
No, that's great. First, you're going to have community immersion, right? So you're going to get leadership training. You're going to get curriculum development training. No matter what your background is, all of our 6 programs, you're going to get some type of training on how to facilitate that background. So if it aligns with your experience sets, it's only going to enhance them. If it doesn't, it's going to still enhance them because you're going to get leadership training. You're going to get course development training. You're going to get language training. All of our volunteers, like I mentioned before, learn how to speak 1 to 2 languages when you're in country, either as a requirement or as to show respect for the country that you're serving in. So if I was to talk to an employer about being a returned Peace Corps volunteer, I would talk about my ability to speak multiple languages, about my ability to lead in underserved, unstructured communities and make adjustments on the fly. I would talk about my ability to live within other communities and be humble enough to live with other people and to learn from them. All these are different benefits that you're going to gain and experience levels you're going to gain. And then there's a need for secondary projects. If you have some abilities things that you're very good at, like blogging, or if you're very good at storytelling, you're going to be able to develop other programs while you're there based off of the needs of the country and what they need. And you'll be able to develop secondary projects to be able to participate in while you're there. So there's a bunch of different skill sets you're going to learn. I guarantee you it's going to add more value than to take away from who you are. And that's why Peace Corps is a value commodity. It adds service, it adds value doing service, and adds value after service.
Yeah, and that's great to hear, because I know, like I mentioned before, a lot of people are looking for experiences. Maybe they're not able to land an internship, but they want to definitely volunteer and give some service out there. So this is a great opportunity for them.
And let me add on to it. Another great thing about it is, originally we only had a 2-year program, which is 2 years in country plus an additional 3 months of your pre-service training, which is a total of 27 months. But we've been hearing a lot of individuals talk about, well, I don't want to go do 2 years. I want to only do a year. Well, now we have a pilot program where we have that opportunity available for you, where you have 15 months, 12 months in country, plus your additional pre-service training, which is also in the country. So you got 15 months of total time in the country, a little less time versus spending 2 years in the country. So you got multiple opportunities available for you. And like I said, it's strictly volunteer, but it's a paid volunteer opportunity where you're going to gain an awful lot of experience and you're going to reap the benefits when you come back.
All right. Can you talk a little bit more about the couple of options and if having kids qualifies you from applying?
Right. Well, it doesn't disqualify you. If you have children, you're going to have a plan in place to talk about who's responsible for your children when you're not there. But if you cannot have children live with you in the volunteer in the country that you're living in, so you can't have kids and you can't take pets. But while you're in country, you can adopt pets. So you can't have kids, but you can serve as couples, and you don't have to be married. As long as you can prove that you guys have been in a relationship for a year, that your significant other or boyfriend or girlfriend will have to just show that meet the requirements to serve within that community. They have different requirements, and on the website it'll talk about couples serving. So like I said, you can't take kids, but you can go as a couple. You don't have to be married. You just have to meet the requirements of the programs, and then that person that's going as a couple have to meet the same requirements that you have to meet to be a Peace Corps volunteer.
That's actually great. Great, thank you. One other question I did have before, it just me kind of thinking like, hey, if I went Peace Corps, what type of opportunities have you heard, or unique service opportunities that someone may have returned and they worked maybe in South Africa, or they had a service in Bolivia in South America. Working with children, are there any unique experiences that you have heard, service opportunities from people who have returned volunteering?
I mean, everybody that has been there. I mean, the majority of individuals I've talked to, are there some stories that people that didn't have a great time? Of course, 7% of everybody who volunteered for service and Peace Corps drop out while they're in service. But the majority of individuals, everybody that I've talked to, have always said it's the most challenging thing you've ever done, but the most rewarding thing. So going into it, you got to understand it's voluntary, but it's going to be a stressful volunteer environment that you can easily adapt to with the support of your peers and support of the individuals that's there to support you through this journey. Like I said, it's not going to be something easy. You're working in an unstructured environment, but you're going to gain skill sets that be able to help you do that. A lot of individuals that successfully complete a tour as a Peace Corps volunteer come back and take advantage of the opportunities, the benefits. They go back and complete their master's degree that's fully paid for, or a percentage of it is paid for. Some schools offer the full amount, some of it offer a percentage, but at least you have that benefit for their lifelong. And then the connections. A lot of volunteers come back and relocate and do government positions in Washington, D.C., working, doing humanitarian work or whatever the case may be, United Nations. Some of these are all prerequisites. You have to have some type of service in order to apply for some of these positions. So this is a way to kind of bridge that gap. And what about if you're a recent veteran that just got off of active duty and you're trying to think about you're applying for government positions, but nobody's getting back to you because they're saying you don't have enough equatable work experience? Well, what about serving a year or two in Peace Corps and gaining that experience and connecting that dot a little bit better? It's an opportunity for you to go, not spend any money out of your pocket, out of pocket, go live in the country for 1 year or 2 years, gain all these experiences, come back and have money towards your master's degree or your PhD, have money in your account, $10,000 to $20,000, and get a non-competitive exemption in addition to your veteran's preference. Those are amazing opportunities. And like I said, there are plenty of opportunities in DC. There is a hiring freeze, and I will be back next month to talk about the federal resumes. But right now, there are currently not a lot of opportunities open on the federal side, but that non-competitive eligibility is going to give you at least a foot in the door. And then also when you come back, we have a Return Peace Corps volunteer portal, all of our domestic and international jobs and stuff on there, and then the networking. Like I said, there are 250,000, and I'm sure it's a little less than that, volunteers worldwide. So those are going to be your extended family members. You come back and you join some of our associations and local community groups or Return Peace Corps volunteer groups. You're going to be able to connect with them. And I'm sure those individuals are going to love to connect you with employment within your area and help you out with other opportunities too.
That's some great information that you put out there. We have some time left, so if you have any questions before we let Claudel go, give you a couple more minutes to drop those questions in the chat. You mentioned something. You mentioned that all volunteers are paid. Is that pay scale the same across the board for every location or every assignment, or does that vary based on assignments?
Well, it's going to vary based off of the country you're going to. It's only enough for you to live comfortably within that country when it comes to your food and toiletry items. It's not going to be enough money for you to pay for a mortgage or an apartment or a car payment back here. So you're going to have your finances in order. And I know a lot of questions arise, well, what about loans? Well, you can get your loans deferred. It just depends on whether they're private or government loans. You're going to have to figure that part of it out. But you can talk to your local recruiter and they can give you information on loan deferments and things like that. But as far as other finances, that monthly stipend is going to be based off of the country that you're living in and how much, and it's roughly between $450 to $500 a month. And like I said, you're never going to find that on the website, but it's a monthly stipend just for you to get your food and toiletry items. That's because everything else is paid for by Peace Corps. Your medical and dental is provided for, housing is provided for. Shouldn't be any out-of-pocket expenses for you. So you volunteer, you go there, you're going to get that monthly stipend. But like I said, you're not going to be saving any of that monthly stipend. But the benefit is when you return back, you get that $10,000 that's going to be federally taxed, or that $20,000 completion bonus when you return. And that's going to be the money that you're going to receive for that 1 year or that 2 years of service that you did. The 1 year is going to be prorated. I think it's around $6,000 based off only doing 15 months in country versus doing 27 months. But you'll see how it roughly pans out to around $10,200 a month before taxes.
Great. All right. So I did drop in the chat peacecorps.gov website, so you will have an opportunity to check that out. Again, this will be sent out along with a couple other additional items in regards to learning a little bit more about the Peace Corps. I'm dropping in the chat as well our survey link. So if you have a few minutes, please take that time to complete that survey. We'd love to know how you felt about the session and what we can do to be better at other sessions in the future. But Claudel, I definitely want to give you some time to give us some closing remarks and let us know if anything else that you would like to tell us as far as tips or any tricks to apply for these roles.
No, thank you very much, Anthony, for having me here today. And thank you, Western Governors University. It was an amazing opportunity. Like I said, this has been my third time here. And it's been an amazing opportunity to share an amazing opportunity with Peace Corps. And like I said, I've been in the service community for over 35 years. The one thing I would tell you is that it's an awful lot of information. You're not going to get all of it just by listening to me. Please visit our website at peacecorps.gov. Please connect with a local recruiter. It may be me. And we'll meet via Zoom and we'll go over the same thing. So please take the time to learn about the organization. Like I said, we don't have a lot of commercials. A lot of stuff is word of mouth and social media. So please spread the word about this amazing opportunity to be able to serve abroad and live out of the country for 1 or 2 years and not have any out-of-pocket expenses. And I know I didn't cover a lot about Peace Corps response, but like I said, for more seasoned professionals, if you already have your education and you're working on your master's and you have a specialized skill set, you can apply for Peace Corps response. Like I said, it's shorter duration, 3 months. We used to have 6 months, but I think it's 3 months and 9 months and 12 months on there now. And it has benefits from the return also. So you got 3 different options. You got Peace Corps volunteer, you got Peace Corps response, and then you have the virtual service pilot. So if you maybe don't have the luxury of leaving the country right now and you still want to complete some type of a service, look at our virtual service pilot program. You volunteer 5 to 15 hours a week. You get a one-time stipend to help you with supplies, but you're teaching children in Ukraine and other countries, one of our 6 different sectors. So you're going to find some opportunity there too. That's another way to enhance your experience. So you got Peace Corps volunteer, which we're going to train you on everything you need to do. You pick the country, you pick the sector. We have Peace Corps response, which is for more seasoned professionals, and it's a shorter duration with less benefits. And then we have our virtual service pilot program. Like I said, the cheat code is to connect with your local recruiter. And every day we do our online open chat. So every day you can go to our chat live and talk to a live recruiter. I'll be on there. And like I said, all of my peers are on there. So every day you're going to have somebody, you can put a face with the name and you can ask general questions about Peace Corps, and we can direct you to wherever you need to go to get the information that you need and answer all your additional questions. So thank you for the opportunity to share all this amazing opportunity for you. And share this amazing organization with you. Thank you, Hank, like I said, for allowing me to come back and share this with your students. And I'm looking forward to next month and sharing these new changes to 2025 and 2026 changes to the federal resume. I have a lot of experience when it comes to resume. I review hundreds of resumes a week. So I'm gonna love to be able to share that experience with you. So hopefully you gain some employment with the U.S. government once the hiring freeze is over. Other than that, thank you for everything, Hank. I really appreciate it.
All right, thank you, Claudel. And I will include that link to next month's session in that email that you'll receive. But thank you once again, Claudel, for joining us. Give us some great insight about the Peace Corps and how students or even our alum can apply for some of the roles that you guys have within your organization. There are a number of great sessions left in our Career Quest series this month. Be on the lookout for those sessions. Touch base with our career professional development website. We have all the upcoming sessions that will be linked there. But thank you guys for joining us today. Please fill out that survey that will be attached to that email, and look forward to seeing you guys at another Career Quest session that we have this month. Thank you.